Hi there, greetings. I'm Dr. Muyoka, and this is Retracing My Africa in the Diaspora. Guys, I'm here to talk to any of you who are getting ready to go to the US Embassy for a visa, especially if you're in the Africa region. Okay, you may be going to the US Embassy because you want to get a visa for your green card, or you may be wanting to get any other type of visa, an F-1 student visa, an H2b work visa, or a visitor visa, whatever visa it is that you want to permit your travel to the United States of America. That's what I want to talk about today. Specifically, I want to share with you 6 tips that can be very helpful in enhancing your chances of getting that visa. Yeah? So if you're interested in this conversation, please feel free to stick around. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you here. I'd be very grateful if you would consider subscribing to this channel. Now, to the topic at hand. Guys, it's never easy securing a US visa. It's never easy. Even for those of you who have green cards, you know that even with a green card, even applying for a green card, sometimes it can be a bit tricky. There are people who've been denied green cards in the past. Yeah, so it's a serious matter, guys, and I'm here to just talk us through what it is that we can do to improve our chances of getting that much coveted American visa. Okay, number one, all right, is you want to make sure that you have the correct disposition. And by disposition, I mean your mood, your attitude, just generally the way you come across, okay? Because remember, when you go to the US Embassy, the officers there, the consulate officers, they don't know you. They are meeting you for the first time. Yes, they have reviewed your application online, but they know very little about you. And so it is incumbent upon you to convince them that you're a person of good standing and that you are worthy to be given that visa to go to America. Okay? So you start with just working on your disposition, your attitude. Have a positive attitude at all times. Work on that, but most especially on the day you go to the embassy. All right? So number one, your disposition. And number two, you need to work on your physical appearance, guys. When you wake up that morning before you go to the embassy, make sure that you have a shower. Good grooming is very important. Have a shower, be clean, wear clean clothes. Make sure that you iron your clothes, guys. Look very smart. Huh? Look like a lawyer, sharp lawyer, or a school teacher. You should have seen me the day I went to the embassy for my green card visa. I was really smart. I tried my best. Guys, I literally went shopping looking around for something decent to wear the week before. Yeah. And I'm not saying you need to do all that. You could just use whatever you have in your wardrobe. Just make sure you look smart. Because you want that visa officer to really take you seriously. Yeah. So you make that effort to look presentable. And then number 3, your supporting documents. This is critical, guys. It's critical, especially if you are one of those people applying for a green card. You are usually being asked for a whole lot of documents, a lot of documents. I went through that process, so I know. So, guys, get the checklist, look through the checklist, and make sure that all of the required documents that are listed, you have them. And if you don't have any of those documents, and you know for sure you're not going to be able to get those documents before you go to the embassy, then make sure that you have a good reason to give the consular officer in case they ask you for that missing document. Make sure you can explain yourself away. Okay? Yeah, that's serious. Documentation, you need to, and even before you go to the embassy, guys, I highly encourage that you review all of your supporting documents. Review them, go through them, and also go online and review your DS-260, guys. You need to know your details by heart because the consular officer is going to be interviewing you based on what you listed or wrote on your DS-260 form. That is your visa application form for the diversity visa if you're applying for the green card. So the consular officer is going to be interviewing you based on what it is that you wrote on that form. And so if you lied and then you go to the embassy and tell them a different story from what they can see on your DS-260, that might be a problem. So what you tell them that day at the embassy and what's on the DS-260, they need to really be the same thing. Yeah, you really kind of pay attention to that. If you're applying for other visas, guys, I would give the same advice. Tell the truth at all times during your interview. Make sure that you're just telling them the truth. It needs to be consistent with what is on the application, the information you're providing, that is. Okay? So we are at number 3. Number 4, embassy instructions. Now, you know, very often we're given embassy instructions even before we have gone to the US Embassy. There are some instructions that maybe you may receive from the US Embassy via email or in any other way that they communicate to you. Please follow these instructions. Also, when you arrive at the US Embassy, when you first arrive at the gate, you will find security officers there. They are the ones who will be looking at your documents and then allowing you through. And then you will go to another section where they will be running through your security, through security again, just making sure that you have only the right items or documentation on you before you go into the embassy. You need to be, you need to maybe cooperate. That's the word I was looking for. Cooperate with these officers because they are there to assist you. Cooperate with them, follow instructions. Yeah, remember that place has video cameras. There's cameras from the minute you show up. So just know you're on camera the whole time, okay? And you know, once you're in the embassy, you are their guest. So when they tell you something, listen, follow, cooperate, okay? And you know, once you go through security, you'll be led to a place where you can sit and now wait for your turn for the interview. And while you're sitting there, there'll be other, you know, consulate officers, other people that work there who will still be coming with more information and direction. Please follow their information and direction, okay? It's very critical. And then when you finally walk up to the window to talk to the consular officer who will be interviewing you, you should listen keenly. You know, especially those of us who are coming from Africa. You know, if you've never had an interaction with an American before, the American accent is very different from maybe an African accent, if there's such a thing as an African accent. So when the consular officer speaks to you, if you've never had this accent before, you may not understand what they are saying to you, okay? So you need to listen. Listen carefully, okay? And if you don't understand what the consular officer is saying to you, it's okay to say, kindly repeat or pardon me. Yeah, could you say that again? I didn't understand you the first time, you know? And the consular officer will oblige. They will repeat the question. Yeah, so these things I'm telling you guys, they're serious. Pay attention. Then, now you are at the window. Point 5 is your presentation. You know, you're at the embassy requesting to be given a visa. So you want them to approve your request for a US visa so that you can travel to the United States of America. That's why you're here. Now, it's going to be up to you to convince the consular officer that she or he need to give you that visa, that you are really a person of good standing and you have the required documentation, the required training, you have the eligibility to get that visa. It's going to be up to you to do that. Now, guys, with respect to this particular issue, the presentation, it's serious. You know, when you get to that window, you literally have under 60 seconds. In my view, you have under 60 seconds to give an impression to this consular officer. Because when you get up to the window, they'll be observing you. They're observing your demeanor, your disposition, like I talked about earlier, but they're also listening to you and what it is that you're telling them. And they're also watching for nonverbal, the facial expression. So the facial expression along with what you're saying, these are the things that they're paying attention to. So it's very important that you make eye contact with the officer, yeah, when you're speaking, stay calm, and really just look confident, master confidence when you're communicating with the consular officer. And guys, I can tell you this for free. Confidence just doesn't happen like that. You have to work on it. So before you go to the US Embassy, you need to practice your presentation. That's what I would suggest to you. That's what I did for my presentation. I practiced for almost 1 month. I was very serious because I was like, I have to get that visa. So every day in the mirror, I'm practicing. My name is so-and-so. I'm here for the visa. And I was imagining what questions the consular officer might ask me. And then I would be ready for an answer. Yeah. You'll be asked, what your plans are, where you plan to stay. Those are things you should be able to answer quickly. Why you want a visa, what are your plans in the United States of America? You need to be able to tell them that. And you cannot fumble, you cannot say, I guess, I think. You need to be on point. This is my plan. This is what I'm planning to do when I go to the US. I'm going to Washington, D.C. I'm going to Boston. I'm going to Seattle, Washington. You need to be very clear with where you plan to go, what it is you're planning to do there, and with whom, in case you ask these questions, okay? All right, then presentation. I still want to talk a little bit about presentation. Answer correctly and also answer truthfully. For whatever reason, please do not lie. Because if you tell a lie and the consular officer establishes that what you told them was not true, they could automatically disqualify you. And then you'll end up without a visa. You don't want that. You've come a long way to this point. There's a lot of people who just long to get such an opportunity. You have the opportunity of a lifetime. The opportunity of a lifetime, guys. So tell the truth and give correct information as much as possible. And I think I've kind of covered all of this. And oh, guys, I wanted to also say this in terms of presentation, be audible. When you speak, be audible. Yeah, the consular officer needs to be able to hear what you're saying to her or him. Okay, so make sure that you speak up, you're clear, you're calm, you're confident. And lastly, this is number 6, remember to pray and have faith. These things are important. For me, if you follow my channel, I'm somebody who likes talking about prayer and faith. Please make sure that even as you embark on this journey, you're praying about it, read your Bible, reflect on what the word of the Lord says, and have faith that God will open the door for you. So when you march into that embassy, you should not be entertaining any kind of negative thinking or fear. Just have faith that the Lord will open that door for you. Yeah. So that's it, guys. That's all I wanted to come and say. I hope this presentation has helped somebody somewhere